I want to make a film that by the time total stranger is done watching it, they're like, I know that couple, and I'm happy for them. You know what I mean? So I try to get as much personality out of them. I try to weave, because I'm like, it's a wedding. It's the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
But it's like, what is it about each individual couple that makes them stand out?
What's up, everybody? Majiri Arijaje. I'm coming back with you for our second interview with Beyond the Brand, where we sit with entrepreneurs, creatives, and professionals that are making something happen in the community. Today, we're here with Michael Williams, who's a videographer. He's the founder of Monark Media, and I'm going to let him talk a little bit about himself.
All right, Majori, thank you so much for having me.
For sure.
I appreciate it. So yes, as you know, I'm Mike Monark. Really, Michael Williams. Mike Monark is it's my pseudonym, just like Spike Lee.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be like him growing up. So I was like, yeah, I need a cool name too.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm the founder of Monark Media, a video production company. We're based out of South Jersey, but we work a lot in Philly, all over New Jersey, Jersey Shore, North Jersey, NYC metro area, Long Island. I've been as far as Hawaii, wherever the money takes me. Like, I'll go. So one thing I do love about my job, honestly, is that I do get to travel.
Yeah,
I know some people are like, come to meet, and it's like, yo, I want to go where you are, because I want to experience just what America has to offer. Like, it's a huge country with so many amazing places, and we never know until we never get out of our backyard.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people don't get out of their backyard, and I feel like doing something like you do, you're able to connect with. You're able to do business anywhere, as long as somebody likes your work. I know people even fly videographers out, they even fly photographers out, and things like that for their weddings. So so something like this definitely is a gateway to kind of see the world, as well, and get out of your backyard. So yeah, thank you again. This conversation is basically we're going beyond the brand. See, I like it. We're going beyond the brand to kind of uncover what it really is to be a creative and run the type of business that you run, start it up, grow it, and continue to invest in it. So to kind of start this off, I just want to know, like, what is the wildest or unexpected project that you've ever worked on?
Wildest, unexpected. Two different things.
Answer both of them.
I'll say, okay, wildest, maybe it's not that wild, but for a while I used to do pool parties.
Okay.
So, pool parties after dark.
Oh.
So this get a little wild. Not as wild as you think, but the more mature I get, the more I'm like, yeah, that's the stuff.
What type of pool party? What was it doing?
you know what it was? It was just typical, like, late teenager, early college stuff. Okay. So, like, to me, it's wild now, but back then it was just, it is what it is.
Okay.
But
so I'm guessing some unexpected stuff happened.
Yeah, they doing those. I say all of them got shut down. But good times. I say the most unexpected was the Hawaii trip. Okay. So one thing I like about being a videographer in general is that it is a team-based like industry. So when big projects come along, it's not, hey, Mike, come out. It's kind of like, hey, Mike, if you're coming out, you need your lighting guy, you need a second videographer, you need a sound guy. So you get to travel with a team. So for the Hawaii, I was actually contracted by another videographer that I had met ironically through music. Okay. Yeah, at the time I met him, he was a music producer, and I was capturing BTS for an artist. And first day we met, he looks at my camera and said, hey, is that the Blackmagic camera? Back when Blackmagic first came out.
What's Blackmagic?
Blackmagic cinema camera. So it was, at the time, it was a camera with image quality for around $3,000 but it rivaled cameras that cost like $50,000. So just upended the industry. Just like when DSLRs just started first shooting videos, like, oh, this is crazy. Then that camera comes out for that price, and you're rivaling, at least in terms of picture quality, Hollywood movies. It's like, oh, that's kind of crazy. So when he saw me with that, it piqued his interest because he was thinking about getting into video. So we had a great conversation. We maintained contact, give him whatever information I knew at the time about video in general, we would share. And then out of the blue, like 2 years later, he said, hey, Mike, I just booked us a gig in Hawaii. Like, do you want to come out? Hell yeah.
Was it all covered? Everything?
Everything was covered.
Everything was covered.
Everything.
Well,
covered with
what was the
stipend.
gig?
So it was a company, nonprofit based out of New York called Hip Hop Public Health, which is just like it sounds, teaching the public about health and wellness, utilizing the power of hip hop and urban culture.
Okay.
But this one was a special Hawaii edition.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so apparently they have like a huge obesity problem in Hawaii. So
Yeah.
so they flew us out there, set us up in a nice hotel, and it was nice. I'm having like open air breakfast. It's like birds flying around me. It was amazing.
What part of Hawaii?
We were in Honolulu.
Honolulu. Okay,
Yeah,
I've always
so-
been to Kauai.
Yeah.
Kauai. I went to Kauai with my wife, and that was probably one of the best sushi I probably had in my life. I'm telling you, it's like I was getting regular sushi from a grocery store. I was like,
Right.
this joint is amazing. It was like, I want more. You know, it was like a regular like type Acme place, and I was like, this is amazing. Like this is great. Not Hawaii is a great place. You had said earlier that you were shooting videos after dark as a teenager. So it leads me to ask, like, when did you get into videography? What made you get into videography? And was it always a passion, or did you have something else that you did?
No. So I'll say this, I loved being an entrepreneur since I was 16 years old. I started selling candy in high school. Just because somebody else was doing it. I seen them doing it. I was like, man, that seems cool. So it's like, yo, let me try it.
You selling? I can sell it also.
Yeah, so I did that, and that was the most fun I ever had in school. Like literally, I went to school to learn and make money at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm learning on the job. I'm, understanding spreadsheets, profit and loss, profit margins, logistics. Understand why the corner is the most important place on the street. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, you like a drug dealer.
Yo, that's how I felt.
You say, boy, so you got 51st on that quarter, you got still on this quarter. Where's my joint at?
That's how I felt, because in our school, there was like a big health initiative, so they took all the candy out.
Yeah.
So I found like basically a black market for candy. I found a market niche.
Yeah.
And I excelled at it. Even at one point I had 2 people selling for me. But even that was a great.
Where was the school at doing this? What was the principals, or was the teachers?
That's
like,
the thing.
I
I had
just ready to candy ring.
I had to dodge them. I had to dodge, keep my head on the swivel.
Candy ring.
Funny enough, I had 2 teachers that would buy from me.
Oh man.
I loved them. It was
funny.
great. But honestly, most of the teachers, they loved my entrepreneurial spirit. And I think deep down inside, everybody that has a 9-to-5 job, like, wants to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the safety and security that comes with it, which I don't begrudge them. I don't begrudge them at all. I said, like, it's still times today where I'm just like, damn, I really wish I just had like a regular job to just go to and not worry about, or not basically just only worry about one thing, which is just doing my job.
Yeah.
With this, as you know, it's like you're doing everything. You're doing the camera. You don't get to turn it off at the end of the day.
Yeah, but I enjoy that. Some people don't, but I like to keep myself busy. You know,
I'll say
if
that.
I feel stagnant, I'm just like, what am I doing? I got to do the next thing. Next thing. So it's like I just can't. I don't know. For me, I just can't feel stagnant. So it's like.
Nah, I get it. I wouldn't quit it. You know. But at the same time, like I'm realizing the I don't want to say the downfalls. I don't even think it's but the unsexy part they don't talk about. You know, where it's like, oh, you are 100% responsible, which was something I didn't understand while I had
taxes. Like,
I just talked to my tax accountant today, and I was just like, damn. Even though the money doesn't hurt, it's still money. I was like, oh,
I made that much.
Yeah, I was like, I could do other stuff with this money that I have to pay you now. So it sucks. But even then, but I will say, just like you said, I love learning every aspect of the business. At the high school, while I was doing college, I got a regular job, and I was miserable.
What was the job?
It was Abercrombie & Fitch.
What were you doing?
First job, in the back folding clothes.
Oh my God.
And it's funny because I love folding clothes now.
I did it also. I did it for Gap.
I fold my own clothes. I love it. I got my little folding board. Everything comes out perfect. But back then, it was just, just not having a sense of autonomy. It's like I get to do this, like I have to do this, you know? So that felt miserable. For less money than I was making selling candy in high school. Yeah. So I was like, oh man, this is like, I'm making less money.
That's how the drug dealers for you, you know?
You know, I understand, to a certain degree, I understand them now. And it's funny because John Hope Bryant talks about drug dealers. He's like, I don't know, you know John Hope Bryant?
No, I don't.
Basically, he's like the top 0.01% black dude in Atlanta, owns like 700 homes.
Oh, wow.
But he talks about that. He said, yo, drug dealers are great businessmen with a bad business plan.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
But so after that, I was doing music. So I actually did music in high school too. So I had a recording studio, small little basement studio, but just
I always wanted a recording.
Yeah. So it was not crazy. Me, I'm always do what you can with what you have. So, and like, as you know, we just like learning stuff. So I'm like, okay, I don't need to spend, tens of thousands of dollars, maybe like one or two, and then just learn the skills to make up for the shortcomings.
Yeah.
Even the same way with video. Like I don't have a $50,000 camera, but I understand my camera like the back of my hand.
Yeah, it gets the job done.
To the point where people act like when they see my videos, they say, "What camera did you shoot that?"
Yeah, is that a $50,000 camera? Nah,
yeah, it's like you
like $500,
right? But yeah, so I did music, and an artist I was working with, he had a music video shot by somebody that went to film school. I saw the video, and I was like, wow. Like I've always been creative, so when I saw the video, I said, yo, like, first of all, why is this scene like 30 seconds long? Like we need fast cuts, we need this, that, and the third. And at that point, never filmed anything, didn't know how to use a camera. So I said, his name was Tony. I was like, Tony, listen, you're my guy. I love this song. I love the fact that I produced it. I'm gonna shoot your video because at least in my head, I already know I can do a better job than this. And so I did research. Went on Google. Like I'm a big research nerd. Like when I want to figure something out, especially with ChatGPT nowadays.
You just type it in.
Yeah, but so I figured out
creative direction.
Right,
Yeah.
But at the time I, found the best camera that I can get for my budget. Bought the DSLR handbook, watched a ton of YouTube videos. So I was just figuring out the camera. It took about a month. I practiced it here and there and said, yo, Tony, let's go do this video.
Yeah.
And I look back at that video, like, wow, this is horrible. But at the time,
it's one of the best creations you ever did.
Exactly.
And first of all, that's how it always feels, though.
And at that moment, I fell in love.
It rolled, like you did it. Yeah. It's like just the feeling of that accomplishment of just learning something and doing it and producing it. That gave you the will and power to be like, oh, I can actually like keep doing this. I'm interested in doing this, right? Yeah. So it's like I think that's always the biggest thing with people as well is when like they're trying to start something, but they don't know generally like how to start and be consistent with it.
Right.
Especially when they see that the first thing that they did, they didn't get the result from the first thing that they did. They're like, oh, I'm giving up. But like, it's just a matter of like you got to keep on trying to be consistent in doing that thing.
Yeah, I'll say I had a real love and a passion for video. Like when I did, like I said, I fell in love with it. And with the love came, I guess, how do I explain it? Like all the BS that came with it, I didn't mind.
Yeah.
Because I said, hey, this is, even though this part sucks, I love these other parts so much that I can deal with that. Yeah. So I'm dealing with, clients that would flake on me. Like I started off with music videos. So I have artists that would flake on me. I had artists that would come drunk, high, and it's just like, and
Would you ever deny anybody like, yo, we can't do this right now? Like,
no, because I still love the art of it. Yeah. So it's like,
it's their expression. You don't know what they will come out with when you start shooting them, right? You don't know what.
Yeah, but it was more like, yo, let's start actually shooting. Not, yo, let's go take a 10-minute smoke break, 15-minute smoke break. Like, no, let's shoot first, and then we can do that. So because that's what I wanted. Yeah, because that's what I wanted to do. I'm like, yo, I'm here I want to like make art, and but still, it was a great experience. Like I still got to travel, so I'll go to different hoods at the time, and then go to increasingly nicer studios, and then get to the point where there's a creative director. So now this is not a random shot on the street. This is in this perfectly curated set. And it's funny because it's one of the jobs where you build so many connections, like our connections because of video. So I build so many connections with people, but the music videos weren't paying enough. I was a struggling artist, so I had a day job at the time, and then for the longest I put off wedding videos, and I tried my hand at like small business commercials, but I was still kind of running into the same problems, like a small mom and pop shop. And it's even to this day, most people don't see the value of video, even though we are in a video-centric world, especially after COVID.
You're not making videos, like if you don't have a video, if you're not making videos and you don't have a personal brand,
Yeah, you're behind the 8 ball. Like this is where most people spend their time. I would continuously get asked to do weddings, but I would always decline them because it was a live event. I'm used to cut, redo, redo. Okay, it's great. Let's move on to this set. Let's set this up. So to do not only a live event, but probably the most important live event for somebody's day.
Yeah,
woo,
that's true. You know, I never thought about it.
Yeah, I was like, I do not want that kind of pressure. Absolutely
that.
not. No, thank you so much, but I'll pass. Until, but I would get asked, maybe like once a month. Like, hey, Mike, you do videos, right? I'm getting married. I was like, nah, bro, I'm cool. Hey, Mike, yeah, you do video? I'm getting married. I'm good. And then I was at the day job, one of my lady friends, she's like, yeah, there's this guy, Brian, he does like wedding videos. You should hook up with him. I was like, no, I've heard of that guy, actually. So I had a consultation call with him, and he's, telling me about wedding videos. He's like, yeah, so when you get to a wedding, do this. I let him talk for like 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, I appreciate everything you're saying, but let's cut to the chase. Yeah, how much you making off of wedding films?
Yeah.
He's like,
probably like 5 bands, right?
He was like, honestly, he said it was like 3.
Okay.
But he's like, he's doing like 4 a month.
He's doing 4 a month, that's what you need.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh.
I might start accepting these calls.
Yeah, I was like, I'm suddenly interested in wedding videos now. And then I was like, thank you. And we set up a time where I would shadow him, and it was like a month out. In the meantime, did what I always do, started researching. First thing I typed in, top wedding videographers in the world.
Yeah.
Just started watching their films, taking notes. Obviously, I knew I couldn't execute everything they were doing because you're still gonna have to learn trial by fire. Yeah. They can tell me everything, but until I'm in that environment and the pressure's on, I don't know how I'm gonna respond. But I did pretty good for my first one was actually free. It was for a friend. They loved it so much they paid me $700 on top of it. You know what I mean?
They could have made an extra 1,000.
They could have, but you know what? They didn't even want a video. I volunteered my services since I was like, oh, you're not having one?
Yeah.
Do I have a deal for you? So they loved it so much, and I loved it so much. I said, oh, I could do this, and then I said, oh, I could probably build a business like $700 for. It was a lot of work, but at the time, this was like 10 years ago. I'm coming from a day job. I'm making like $300 a week to be able to oh, somebody just paid me $700
for a couple hours.
No, it was a long time, but it was fun.
8 hours, I mean,
yeah, but it was fun. That's the thing about my job. It's it actually is legitimately fun. I'm going on 8 years. Yeah, 2025, 8 years now, and I'm like.
So you've been a videographer. You started the business now for 8 years. You've been in it.
Yeah, I started the business for 8 years. I've been in it for 11.
Okay.
But yeah, so I did that. I said, hey, I think we should make a business. And this is my business partner, was like, yo, we should probably make a business out of this. I think we got something here. Yeah. And then we did. And no experience, no business knowledge, I just want to do this. So I've just been figuring it out as I went along. And it's been a hell of a journey.
Yeah.
A hell of a journey.
When would you say your first big break was that was all right, I've done this and now from this one thing I did, it spiraled to other contracts or other jobs or or that's really taking my business to the kind of that next level?
Man, I wouldn't even know, because it's weird. I haven't had, or at least I don't think I've had something where it was just I woke up the next morning and zoop, we're in the big leagues. Everything is just sort of built upon itself, because especially in the wedding space specifically, obviously me, I do commercials too, but I made my bread and butter, and I still make my bread and butter in the weddings. And everything comes from referrals. So it's not, you have this viral moment and everybody's calling your phone. It's more the relationships you're building. Yeah. Because especially, and these are just things I had to figure out as I went along, as a videographer, I'm actually pretty low on a totem pole when it comes to vendors booked. Yeah. After the wedding's over, oh my God, I'm the most important person in the world. But before then, hey, we need our venue, we need our flowers, we need our photographer, we need the food, we need the DJ. And then it's I always joke and I always say it's that the movie Home Alone, when the mom is on a plane and she's like, okay, I got this, I got that. Are we missing anything? It's Kevin. And I'm I'm Kevin. Oh, we need a videographer. Kevin, but so I started building relationships with people at the top of the chain. So the wedding planners, the venues, the photographers, the florists, the cake. And what I loved about me is I do video, so I'm content creation all day.
Yeah.
So I had something to offer them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, hey.
I was actually going to follow up with that. It's like, where do you, like, how are you getting your business, like, how are you getting your business right now? What are the number one ways to get your business? Like, do you have some advice for somebody that, you know, that's actually doing videography work and trying to figure out, like, their niche?
Yeah, so I mean, try everything until you find something that sticks. For me, it's like I was lucky enough that I loved no matter what I'm videographer, is that even a word? I don't know. Whatever I'm filming, I loved it. So if I'm filming a podcast, like, oh, this is great. If I'm filming a music video, oh, this is great. If I'm filming somebody washing their car, I'm like, because I don't look at it just, I'm filming this, like, how do I make this interesting? Because that's one thing I really noticed from video, and maybe it's because I was an anime nerd growing up, but I was like, I would notice that like they make the most mundane scenarios seem like
Crazy,
over the,
yeah.
So I said, man, I wonder if I could do that with
Dude,
video.
drag out like 5 episodes of somebody of Goku talking to Vegeta for like 5 episodes. Like, bro, just start the fight.
Exactly.
What's going on?
Yeah, I got it. So that was my goal. I said, oh, it's not so much about the content. Obviously the content matters, but it's like, yo, how do you make, or at least in my mind, I was like, how do I make the mundane like spectacular? Or make it interesting?
Yeah.
So when I would get an opportunity to film anything, it wasn't, oh, I gotta go do this. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm about to blow your socks off because you ain't never seen, you know.
So it's like done like this before, you were about to witness.
Yeah, but I'll say once you find something that sticks, you know, just build upon that. But be happy that, you know, you still have the skills in other areas because, and I forget who said it. Maybe it was the guy that made Atomic Habits. But he kind of talks about how when you're skilled in one area, it kind of bleeds into others. Even if you're not skilled in that area at all, like let's just say you're an award-winning podcast, like everybody knows Majory. Next thing you know, right, that's the goal. And next thing you know, you're getting speaking engagements. You might have not had a lick of public speaking in your life, but just because you were so high in this area, somebody from this area wants to work with you. So same thing with me. When I got a foothold in the weddings, then like wedding photographers I'm working with, because a lot of them do like branding, headshots. They're calling me up like, hey Mike, I have a client, I just did their headshots and they want a commercial. Like, I've seen your work on the video side or in the wedding side, so I know you're good, but do you do commercials? I'm like, oh, of course, like that's where I started. You know? So actually it was a couple months ago, I went to Delaware to film a realtor. And it's funny because when you do it for so long, you don't think it's that special, like what you do. So I was like, all right, you know, walking through the process. And by the time the whole video is done, he's like, yo, Mike, this was like an amazing experience. Like this film or what commercial came out amazing. Like, what do you say? You say, oh man, if I could give the Emmys to you, I would. And I was just like, oh, that's what's up. Awesome. But I'm thinking like I'm reading it thinking like, man, was it really all that? You know what I mean?
No, but, you never know. You never know what.
But then I would show, like the commercial to people, and like I'm talking about accountant, or I was actually talking to another videographer who's like big in the wedding space, and I'm just showing like I was just happy to show, just like this is something different, you know, check it out. And he's looking at me, he's like, you shot that? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, what's your schedule looking like for next year? Because I need another shooter. I was like, oh yeah, take my number, whatever. Show it to my account.
You never know. He's like you just talk about. You just gotta talk about what you do, and you just never know who's like listening or what they do, and like that can plug you in. You know what I mean? Like that's always one thing I always tell people is like just keep talking about what you do. Like it may seem annoying, but like someone's watching, someone's listening, and someone's interested.
Yeah,
you know, right?
I'm like, as a personal brand, you are your own salesman. That's one thing I had to learn. It's like, when I go to a networking event, like, hey, I'm Mike with Monark Media. I even have like a tagline if I'm pitching a wedding. Like, they're like, oh, what do you do? I was like, oh, I turn brides into movie stars on their wedding day. Just enough to make them go, wait, what? Like, what does that mean? I was like, okay, well, now we have a conversation. And if there's anybody, you know, and from BNI, I got like my preferred referral partners.
Shout out BNI.
Shout out BNI.
Shout out BNI. That's where I started also. You know, you gotta give the one-to-one referrals. That's the whole purpose of this. We do it one-to-ones on camera. So BNI sponsor me.
So all my networking skills I know today is because of them.
Because of BNI. I was in BNI since 2022. And once I turned 22 and I joined the business, my dad was like, you got to get in BNI. I did BNI for 8 years. I was president, I was secretary. Oh man. You know, and I think once COVID hit, I had to do the Goldman Sachs program, and I was like, I don't feel the need to return to BNI anymore. But not that it's not a great tool for growing your business. It's just like sometimes like there's different stages of businesses. And it's like me, I can't like if I can find somebody that I can commit to put them in the BNI, I would, but it can't. I'm too busy trying to sit there. Oh shit, I gotta scratch out another referral for next year. You know what I mean?
But it's definitely a great launching pad. Great launching pad just to get comfortable
and confident.
Like when I go to other networking events, I tell myself, like, thank God I started with BNI. Thank God.
You pitch, and you're not nervous.
Not at all.
Just get right to it.
And people compliment me. They tell me like, oh, like wow, you like. That was good. You've been practicing? I'm like, yeah, for like 2 years.
And it's crazy. This is around the time that a lot of us are starting trying to start businesses, right? You know, so but we've had all our 20s and all of that to kind of like hone that in. And hone those skills, those public speaking skills and confidence, you know, things like that. So that's why, I mean, first of all, I always encourage somebody to always try and do some type of small entrepreneurship stuff just for the confidence, not necessarily like, oh, I have to make $1 million, but like if you can just build some type of network and confidence for yourself, that will take you a longer way than just like, you know, and that would be more recognized in your 9 to 5 as well. If people see that confidence and show that you can actually take initiative to do something else for yourself, you know what I mean?
In fact, that was one of the hardest things I had to learn, because when I was starting the business, I always blamed the day job for my lack of drive. I was like, oh, I'm just too tired. And then the business, well, I was gonna say, it was a personal failing. It was a personal failing. I made the excuse, and then the office, I worked at a bankruptcy law firm at the time, and then the office shut down. So I had like 6 months of nothing. I squandered it. That's what I did. I squandered it for 6 months because
did in COVID.
I squandered it because I had money coming in. It was like, oh, you know, I would work, but maybe 1 or 2 hours a day.
And then the 6 month came up,
and 6 months came up, and I had to get another job, and I was so disappointed. Like I've never been so disappointed in myself. I was like. Because I lied to myself. You know what I mean?
No, that's powerful.
Yeah, I lied to myself.
I said, I got some chills. No, that's it. I got some chills.
So I had to.
And being able to admit that you lied to yourself and like hold yourself accountable as well. That's like, it's huge. Right. It's huge. And I think most people aren't able to do that, to recognize that. Look, wow, like what am I really doing here? You know, what am I really doing here? Like, what can I do to kind of like take myself to the next level with all this free time that I have? Like, you know, but you know, so we talk about a little bit, but like, you know, what makes a good like story in a video to you? Is it the excuse me? Is it the visuals, the editing, or like the message?
The message, ultimately, and I guess the reason I say that is because I think about old films, you know, from black and white to, you know, 90s blaxploitation, where you can look at it and say visually we've come a long way, but why do I still want to watch this? It's like, oh, because of the story. Even before we had video, stories around the campfire, gossip around the school. It's like you wanted to. It didn't matter if it was visually stunning. It was just like, it was just storytelling. And so, and even with the wedding film, like when I was doing those, it was like, and I tell my couples on my consultations, like, I want to make a film that by the time a total stranger is done watching it, they're like, I know that couple, and I'm happy for them. You know what I mean? So I try to get as much personality out of them. I try to weave, because I'm like, it's a wedding. It's the same thing over and over. But it's like, what is it about each individual couple that makes them stand out? You know?
And essentially that's the same thing with this, right? You know, I can interview a videographer. I can interview today, you today, interview another videographer tomorrow, and it's a completely different story and conversation, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's all about the story and the person. It's not about the business, and that's really what we're trying to highlight here. Is that it's about the personal story that someone has to get to, you know, where they're at. Not, hey, this is what I do, and this is how I do it. You know, because everyone can. Everyone can do any occupation that they put their mind to. I believe that. I believe that definitely. Everyone can put their mind to whatever they want to, you know, put their mind to. But it's a matter of like, how did they get here? You know, how did they get there? You know, to this point. And like, it comes down to that. It's like a lot of people just kind of think that videography is kind of like just pressing the button, and things like that. But what do you think separates you, or separates like the greatest videographers from? Like your average Joe?
I guess
People like me.
really is a technical skill that comes from like experience. Like remember when I walked in and we were talking about the audio and the first thing I said was, yeah, that air conditioning is on.
Yeah.
You know, like if you walk into a regular room, it's just like, oh, this, you don't think twice about it. But I said, wait, that's a problem.
That's a white noise that you don't need to
like
be
that
there.
is a problem. So that's, so like, as you progress in skills, you start picking up on those little nuances. So yeah, definitely technical skill because, and I've noticed that with people in general, like people are most impressed by people that can do what they can't or like what seems difficult. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's just time.
Yeah. Like if it was just pressing a button, then it's like, oh, I don't need you. I can just press the button myself. But then when you go, wait, why doesn't my stuff look like that other guy who's getting all this praise or attention or that you just like, it comes, then you respect it because like, I don't know how to do this. Kind of, I think about it almost like magic. Like magic is impressive until they reveal how it's done. They're like, oh, it's not that, I can do that, I can do that, it's not that special. Yeah. And so I really think like that is what separates me. One is like I started off in audio before I got into video. So even though my video wasn't, top notch, my audio skills were. So, and I always tell people, it's like, you can watch a poorly lit film with great audio, but you can't watch the most stunning visual experience and have like crappy audio. Like, you're just gonna turn it off. And so I said, okay, if anything, audio has to be paramount. And I hear it all the time. It's like, yo, I love that you have like vowels over the music and it sounds good and I could hear like the bride and I could hear the girl. I'm like, yeah, because I took the extra. So I'm like, even with the mics, you know what I mean? Mic on you, mic on me. Originally, we almost settled for mic on the camera.
It's a shotgun.
Yeah, and I was like, nah, we can't do that. Like, we can't do that.
That's a big difference right there. And it's something that I'm learning as well because it's like I'm just a one-man team right now, but I hope to kind of like take that to the next level. But like just the subtle difference of just having two different microphones, that's huge, because I think the first video I shot, I was listening to it and it sounded like a little bit more echoey, but I was like, it's whatever, the message was still there, and the people were still able to hear it. What keeps you motivated and what keeps you, like when you're feeling stressed, what do you do?
Lately, and actually it's been like a week, but I've actually been in a funk for like a month. So I get the blues in the winter because that's when winter season ends, at least on the East. Feel great for like a week, so I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to do any more weddings. Like, because I would be having like back-to-back weekends for like a month. And then, 2 weeks later, kind of depressed because my favorite part about weddings is, or video in general, but going out and meeting new people, going to new locations. Like I've done 14-hour jobs before and felt amazing. You know what I mean? So it's like, when that got taken away, it's kind of like, what am I even doing? But recently, I've actually been fasting.
Oh, okay.
I've actually been fasting.
My wife wanted us to do that she was like, let's just try to see if we can keep a schedule.
So I've noticed, and I'm one of those people, like I'm very intuitive about me. Like when something's going right, I ask myself like, why did this happen? How do I do more of that? And then when something's going wrong, like, why? Why do I feel this way? I need to figure this out. And I'll try a bunch of different things. Like that's just me, I'm an experimenter at heart. And then I noticed, and I fasted before, but recently, like, and this is as recent as like 2 days ago, I was like, man, let me try this again because I'm just in a funk. Like I was getting work done, but not to the capacity that I know. It's like when you're capable, like I said, I was like, oh, I can do 14-hour days. Like, why am I doing it? Why is 4 killing me? So this is, what's today, Thursday? So this was Tuesday. As you know, this was Monday. Had a date on Sunday. We're gonna talk about that later. But Monday, I was like, I'm a fast. So I fasted Monday. Oh yeah, that's right. That's why it's important, because when I fast, and there's like a whole science behind it. But basically, you're more alert. And then, I actually extended that to the next day, so I didn't eat that night either. So from Sunday night was my last meal, then I didn't eat again until Tuesday night.
Jesus.
I felt great though. That's the other thing I forgot, insomnia. I wouldn't even say insomnia, because it's not like a tired feeling, but you don't sleep in as late. Like I think I went to bed 10 on Monday, woke up 4:30, and I'm talking right up. Not a, what time is this? Kind of
I'm just gonna write up.
Like, oh, I'm up.
I need coffee.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, all right, yo, let me go for a walk. I went for
matcha,
a walk.
I'm a matcha man.
Yeah,
now,
came
right?
back, and then I worked from 8:30 till 7 p.m. that night, and then I ate. And as soon as I was done eating, knocked out. All the energy left my body.
48 hours.
Woke up the next day, and I said, yeah, fasting is going to be part of the routine.
So that was like, so that helped you release some stress, and
it just it helped me refocus. It's probably the best way to put it, because my stress came from, Mike, you're not working as hard as you know you're capable of.
Yeah.
And this comes from even back from like my 20s. When I was trying to figure,
1920.
when I was trying to figure out the business, so I would read like a bunch of like self-help books, watch a bunch of motivational videos, and they just kind of drill into you like, yo, you can always do more. You can always do more. So when I found myself not doing more, that's where my stress came from. It wasn't this is too hard. It was oh, Mike, you wasted an hour here watching Dragon Ball.
Was it? Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you wasted.
I was going to ask you, what's your favorite anime?
Honestly, Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Attack
You
on
know, I don't
Titan.
think I ever finished that. I think I always got to like the third and I never finished it.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Like first season,
I was watching Juicy. I got the I'm a big Death Note.
Oh yes,
Death Note,
class.
Full Metal Alchemist,
Yes.
Brotherhood.
Attack on Titan. It trumps that.
Yeah, I got that tatted on me. I got the
trumps
Brotherhood and I got
It trumps that.
Death Note Ryu.
When you get to the end, oh man, it is great plot twist. Great. I love TV shows with great plot twists, and that one's like big reveals.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna spoil nothing. But it's because I felt the same way. Like second season, I was like, yo, where's the show going? But third season, whoo, mind blown. It's worth it.
So what's next for yourself in Monark Media? What do you see yourself in 5-10 years? Like what are you planning? Man, big moves.
That's actually and I don't know if that's my biggest downfall, but I don't lock myself into like, hey, Mike, in 5 years, Monark Media must be this. I definitely go in like 1 year increments. It's kind of like, okay, Mike, this is the schedule. Like, and it's more of a, how do I explain it? Like, where are your weak areas? Yeah. So like I said, there are fun parts of the business, then there are non-fun parts of the business. And I'm like, why, the fun part is easy. The fun part is easy. But the non-fun part is like, you need to figure that out. Yes, sir. Yes, you can outsource it, but you need to figure that out, so by the time you're ready to outsource, you know how to communicate with the client. So for me, like, one of the biggest issues was lead generation, which honestly I think that's every business, and which honestly where B&I helped out a lot, because they made me really think like, Mike, how do you get business? And then I had to really go through the list, like, oh yeah, when I do get business, I get it from these type of people, and I get it from these type of people. So I upped my referral game, got lead generation. One of my planners retired, I was hurt. So I was like, damn, that's lost revenue right there. That's crazy. So, and actually started as early as beginning of January, Facebook ads.
Oh,
I put it
Facebook
off
ads.
because I didn't have to. Yeah. And then once I lost my planner, I said, Mike, you really need to figure this out. Yeah. And thank God for ChatGPT.
Okay, and told you exactly what to do. Yeah.
Exactly
Come up
what
with a plan
to
for
do.
me.
Yeah, came up with a plan, but then also showed me how to execute it. Yeah. Because that's the thing about Facebook ads is like, even if you know what you want to do, how do you actually interface with the ads manager? Yeah. So
that's how I get most of my business right now. Yeah. I listen to Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. So I would use Facebook. I would go to a page like in my ads manager, and it's asking me to fill out this information. I'm like, I don't even know what half this stuff means. Yeah. So I would literally copy and paste that page. Yeah. Put in like ChatGPT, can you explain all these parameters for me? It's like, oh, this means that, this means that. No, based on what you said, put these inputs.
Yeah. Who the target?
Yeah. I said
the exact age.
It really niched it down.
And it's been getting to help you out a lot.
It's been a month. I spent under 300. I think I'm like 250 right now. Yeah. I booked one client for 2,500. I got 9 inquiries. Yeah. I got sent out 3 pricing guides, so they're showing high intent. And actually one of them person just scheduled a call for 6 p.m. tonight.
See, that's dope. Mm-hmm. See, that's like, it's funny because before you walked in, I had somebody else from Instagram as well walk in and said, hey, we've been communicating on Instagram. I'm here to put down a deposit. Nice. You know what I mean? So that's what I think I spoke about this in one of my earlier videos of teaching people how to market and use Instagram and close sales. Instagram ads, it works. Instagram ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, all that stuff. You just have to, and as a small business business owner, I always tell small business owners, learn it for yourself.
And I'm not knocking anybody's hustle, but it's like what we talked about. You have to understand.
Like what we
You know what I mean?
about,
So if they're spending your money, you need to understand what they're telling you.
Yeah,
if they're
the
saying,
money that you're paying them could be split towards more ads.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep moving. But
so
yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, that's been going great. I'm excited, and that's actually that's my new favorite part. Like I'm turning into a salesman.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
man,
easy,
this is even better than shooting the weddings. I'm like,
you just have to make some more videos online. And that's it.
That's what I do.
Put $5 to it.
I got $1 million. I've been spending $3 a day.
$3 a day.
I got that on $3 a day.
Like $125 a day.
It's like,
actually, no, because I got the 2 shops. I'm spending it right now. Yeah, I'm spending $125 a day. So I spend, but we're different stages of business.
Exactly.
Different stages.
And for me, it's like,
and the services business is easy too. You can always get inquiries.
Yeah.
Service printing.
Yeah. And I'm kind of lucky because I make videos.
Yeah.
So I'm not even selling them, like for this specific wedding niche, I'm not even selling them me.
That's dope.
So I'm ready to experiment more. If I get this again, I was like, oh, we might have to go like regional with this. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, that's what I did. When I started seeing results, I was like, okay, all East Coast. It's like, East Coast is mine. Like, let's do it. Yeah. You know, we're finishing up, so I got a couple questions for you.
What's up?
What's your favorite camera brand? You know, what are you using right now? Sony or Sony or Canon?
I'm in love with Sony right now.
Okay.
I don't like Canon colors.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I love Sony. I love because it works for my needs. You know, as especially like the way I have my camera set. Like I normally have my Sony on a gimbal when I'm moving around.
Okay.
So having autofocus is critical.
Sure. Yeah.
I love the Sony.
Got the autofocus.
You know
the adjustment easy. You adjust so fast. Yeah,
the upper echelon cameras in the Sony lineup have 10-bit 422 log. Like I'm big on color grade. Like that's another thing that separates. Like I know how to color grade as well, which is actually one of the first things I learned after shooting. So I was like,
that makes a great video.
Yeah. Like why do those films look the way they do? And I was like, oh, something called color grading. And I literally bought a book that's probably about these 2 books put together. Yeah. And by Alexis Van, I learned it. Read it back. The first 2 chapters was like human biology, like learning how the cones and the rods in your eyes interpret color. And I'm like, I guess write this down. Right, this is important. And by the end of it, I was skilled. And even like when I talk to other videographers, when I'm working with them, they think I'm speaking Chinese. Yeah. and it's weird because I don't think about it that way because I've known it maybe like my second year in. Actually, no, my first year. I knew how to do that. Yeah. So it's like the back of my hand, but they're like, what? What did you just say?
You dream artist or brand or whoever, like who do you want to work with? Who will be your dream client?
I definitely want to work with Nike. I made some spec ads back in the day, and I still love like the motivational aspect that Nike brings. Yeah. So I'm taking it because it'll elevate you, but it wasn't like, oh, I need this so that I'm the man. It's like people tell me that I'm the man when I come. Like the reviews tell me.
Regardless,
the reviews tell me. The respect of your peers. Your peers will tell you. They're like, yo, you're really nice. It would be like if you went to a convention with I don't know if they had like printing press convention.
Yeah,
we do. Okay, you do. But then it's like, oh, I've heard of you, or you showing me where you're like, oh, you're good. Yeah. Yo, come talk to so and so because we've been looking for somebody like you. So it's like when you get that kind of recognition, it's that becomes fulfilling of itself, and I love it because and I tell people, like I don't have fear for the most part when I'm thrown in like situations with video. It's like, hey, we got to do this client, but it's gonna be like this. I'm like, listen, I've been through the worst. I'm like, if you can do a wedding, you can pretty much handle everything else.
Yeah, they're the most hectic people to do it.
Like nothing goes according to plan. I don't even get Bridezillas like that, but it's just knowing that nothing is going to go 100% to plan. Like timelines are going to be off, things are going to get ruined, things are going to get forgotten. The DJ's system messes up, and then you got to have redundancies in place. I had a camera die on me one time. I had footage get corrupted, and I had to spend like $500 to recover it. So you've been through a lot. So when I go into situations, I'm just like, sorry, we'll make it through. Like we'll make it. We always do.
Adversity.
Exactly.
Adversity. So for somebody that's looking to turn their creative passion into a business, like what would you tell them to start?
Man, where would I tell them to start? That's tough because I I guess I feel like my road is unconventional, but maybe it's not. But really, you just got to get out there and start creating, because it's really all just about repetition. Right. It's like, especially in the social media era, that's free promotion all day.
Something like this, free promotion.
Yeah, just like this. Like, you're gonna get better at this. Like, this is just the start, but you took that first step. And then once you know this like the back of your hand, now who knows? Now you probably podcasting for other people. You're like, hey, for Minuteman Press, not only do we do advertising, we also have a podcast studio.
Media, it's a media company.
It's a media company. Next thing you know, that podcast, now you're making money. Off of something that, obviously I believe that, the game plan was to have a great podcast and get sponsors and all that. But in the meantime, this becomes an outlet for other people who wants a podcast.
And that's the biggest thing for me right now, is just like it being an outlet for other people. I think one of the major things that I was thinking about when I decided to kind of like start this is like since I call it beyond the brand, but I also wanted to call it local celebrity. But because I figured that everybody, I think we put so much emphasis on all this people doing bigger things in life that's like it's not really realistic for the average person. So I feel like the average person needs to see the average person that's doing well in life as well. You know what I mean? That has an actual story. And I'm not saying that celebrities or athletes and all those people don't have actual stories, but but we want people to be able to do other things with their lives outside of inspired to be this at this type of level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I guess the other thing I'd probably say is don't be afraid to fail. Like, that's where you learn your best lessons, you know? And it's funny because I listen to Dr. Andrew Huberman, and he talks about that, like your memory is actually more dependent on your emotional state than like rote memorization. I'm sure there are things you learned in high school that you can't remember, but there's a situation that made you feel some type of way that you'll never, so you'll never, so that's part of it. So when I tell people don't be afraid to fail, it's like, because you learn what not to do. It's like when you win, sometimes you get lucky.
Comfortable.
You might get lucky, you might get comfortable. When you lose, it's like, I mean, even I was telling Victory about it, but this is when I was first doing the Facebook ads, and I was starting to get inquiries, and I'm talking to this potential bride, and I'm like, hey, she's like, hey, can I learn more about your business? I'm like, yes, I'm Mike with Monark Media, Monark Weddings, and turn brides into movie stars. I'm like, when's your wedding date? She's like, oh, it's this day. I'm like, great, we still have that date available. Where are you getting married? She's like, oh, someplace in Long Island. I'm like, oh, that looks like a beautiful venue. I'm like, I'm working it. But, and then I was like, hey, I made this ebook, that goes about, our work, what we do, how we turn brides into movie stars. I would love for you to check it out. Now in my head, I'm following the business coach game plan, like, oh, you gotta send them the ebook. Didn't hear anything back from her since.
Damn.
And then I'm thinking to myself, like,
maybe too salesy?
No, it wasn't too salesy, but I'm like, that was a warm lead. That wasn't like, that was somebody showing genuine interest. Like, we were having conversation. It wasn't like, oh, she filled out an inquiry. It was kind of like, we were getting there. Then instead of me trying to like, let me set up work it some more. Let's set up a phone call. Like, I want to understand like what you really want for your wedding. I was just like, take this and get back to me once you know who I am. And so like, and I still think about that. The weddings the deals I closed, I'm like, great, I'm on to the next one. But this was like, why didn't I close that one? Oh, that's where I went wrong.
And you learn a lot of that, especially now that you get into Instagram ads. You're gonna learn that like, certain people just need to be worked a little bit. Like, I follow up with everybody, no matter like from months ago, I just hit them back up like, just following up on the quote that I sent you, blah blah blah. And certain people will hit you back, but also it's just it's a different way. Like I think what works best for me is trying to get a phone number, an email. If I can just get your contact information, I don't, you know what I mean? That's all I need. I can follow up with you and continue to follow up with you, even if you don't respond back to me. Because a lot of times it's just like I think the first inquiry is like, I'm interested in your product or something like that. And from that, people are like, what are you interested in? Can I get you blah blah? Can I get you a quote? My first response was, all right, cool. Can I get your number and email so I can call you to speak more about this? And leave it at that. You know what I mean? And but I think that's one thing thing that's been a little bit different for me in terms of trying to close people is just trying to get them to talk a little bit more, because social media is just so people getting hit with so many ads.
No, definitely.
You're not the only. They look up videographer. There's probably I don't see it, but you're targeting. So videographers are probably targeting. So they probably see so many videographers as ads. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And I was like, the headspace I put myself in is like, put yourself in the shoes of a social media user.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like you're scrolling one there. Like I'm looking at the views, I'm like, I only get a handful from the thousands of views that I'm getting.
Yeah.
And then even with that, it's like they're distracted.
Yeah, they're just scrolling like, oh, this looks cool. I'm interested in this. Move on to the next thing.
So when
and
you
then you just messaging them like, bro, you said you were interested. You cost me $25.
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah. And especially specifically in this niche is like, their wedding's like a year out. You know what I mean? So the sense of urgency is not even necessarily there.
It's there. Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of vehicle wraps. So it's like that's the same thing. Like you don't have to get your car wrapped.
Right.
So it's like if the price works, the price works. If not, it's like I'm just gonna move on.
Right. But I'll definitely say that, honestly, in the next, now I'm thinking about it more, next 5 years, because what would that be, like 2030? Honestly, I'm trying to be more hands-off. So this is more bringing in people to run certain aspects. Like I think I'm always gonna love the sales part, but I want to train an editor
Somebody else to do it.
But who's as passionate. So basically have the business, work on the business, not in the business. So it's funny when you're bringing up, I was reading the title of Clockwork and I seen from Gino Wick, and I read like his traction book, but before that I read the E-Myth Revisited, and I realized that I was in the role of technician, whereas like I'm wearing all the hats, I'm doing all the work, whereas like, oh, Mike, if you get sick, the business is done.
It's done. Yeah.
If you die, the business is done. So it's like, oh, okay, I need to, and I tried to just find a random person off the street, like, oh, well, you do this, so just do it for me.
Yeah, but you have to be more coordinated.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I need to build somebody up, and it's like, hey, this is how I do things. This is what clients expect, so this is how you need to. I know you do things like that, but when you're working with me, you need to do things like this. So it's like taking the time to really.
Hone in on that.
So that's the goal.
So where can people find you and connect with you?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can find me Monark.media. That's my commercial side of the business. MonarkWeddings.com. That's the wedding side of the business. Instagram, Monark Weddings, at Monark Media. If you want to reach me directly, at Mike Monark.
I recommend him. He's done my commercial. I think at the commercial that's on my YouTube channel right now, he did that commercial. So highly recommend him for those of you in, United States, because he can travel that was United States, nationwide and international. So check him out, Mike Monark, Monark Media. So I appreciate you, bro. This is perfect. Like, great conversation.
Definitely. It was a pleasure.